Hi guys, this is the last of my RCs that I need to do my little review on, and this is known as the Honcho or the SCX10. I have had it since April of last year, and I have used it exclusively at Ioko Mountain on the big rocks. It has taken 15-foot drops and it just keeps working and keeps working. But the drawback of this truck is it is not waterproof. I found that out through trial and error of last year. And I can give you a little tour of failure. Let's go down the road of fail. The trail of fail. I shall show you what failure is all about. Learning the ropes. So in my little box of fail, oh, it's full of fail parts. Well, let's start pulling them out and see what we have here. Well, first off, I'm pretty experienced with this truck now. First thing you need to do if you buy this truck, get rid of those drive axles, those drive lines. These are the plastic ones that you can buy in the kit. Junk. I had one just like this, and it binded on me and it broke right there. And then and then that little pin in there was gone forever and I lost it. Had another one where these are supposed to fit together. It got stuck in there and binded, caused me more problems. I've stripped them, twisted them, you name it, I've done it. So what I have done is I have come up with a fix for that. But right now we're just showing you some of the things that can give you problems. The other things that we have in the little old box of fail is, get rid of those. We have ourselves the stock shocks, the simulated piggyback shocks. I only had the vehicle 4 days. 3 out of the 4 shocks started leaking right out of the shaft. Fail. So instead of trying to rebuild them, I just replaced them. So push this out of the way. Next on the list was when I first bought this truck, the battery's in the back, and I was trying to compensate for it for rock crawling, and I read on some forums where you can take weights and put them on the inside of your tires and then tape them. I tried that. I didn't particularly care for it, so I never pursued it and came up with an alternative way of doing that for myself. So that was kind of a fail there. Another one would be ESC. I tried waterproofing it and it doesn't work. Or it didn't work for me anyways, and I even plasti dipped it. I tried everything I could think of. Water got in it anyways, and I lost it. One down. So then what I did is I went to the hobby store and I picked myself up the old Tekken, I think it's called the FXI, and it worked good for a while until I started using it on a really wet day, and moisture got in behind the clear panel here, and then it started acting erratic and it would die, start, and then the motor would be going full tilt and then stop, and holy, this thing took me a while to figure out what the problem was, and just having it giving me that much grief for 3 days to pinpoint the problem, I decided to take it out and not use it. So next in my travels is I had servo problems. This is the axial servo that comes with your vehicle, and water got in. I had this thing all plasti dipped everywhere. I even put a O-ring on the inside of the shaft to stop the water and moisture from getting in there. It got in there anyways, right through the shaft, burnt that motor out. So what I did is I bought myself a high-tech HS 7954. These cost about $100. And this arm on here is made of aluminum, but it's kind of a light-duty arm. I don't know if you can see it, but I actually bent it. it's bent. I tried to straighten it out with pliers. It was worse than that. What happened with this is I waterproofed it in Plasti-Dip. Again, the Plasti-Dip doesn't work too well. And water got in right through the connector where it's sealed right here, even with the Plasti-Dip on, and a drop of water found its way right to here. You can see the corrosion, and that's just one drop of water, and it's not salt water, fresh water. So that was a failure again. So I think that's it for my little grab box here. So what I'm going to do now is I'll give you a quick, we'll get Pingy out of there, and he likes to be around the cars all the time. We'll get rid of all this failure equipment. This was me learning the ropes, my first year of RCing. I think I've got a pretty good handle on it now. These are the battle scars on my truck now from spring and summer. And I've put many hours onto it. And you can see some wear and tear on it, even on the rims. You can see they're all beat up. Those are stock rims with stock tires. Those are the ripsaws on there. They work very good. I like them very much. And I am a supporter of RC Sparks, and I put his little sticker right here. Way to go, DJ Medic. You taught me a lot, man. Thank you very much. And I put another sticker on my Wraith as well. So I totally support the rock crawling community of that. Okay, now we're going to take the cover off here, and we'll have a little boo inside. Ta-da! There we go. So the battery comes with it in the back. I decided to put it in the front. And this is all the weight that I need. And to compensate for it to stay on the ground, I bought myself some Proline 2-stage progressive shocks. And they are the cat's meow. They're the most expensive shocks, aftermarket shocks you can buy for it. But they work really well. So when one spring bottoms out, the other spring compensates for it, and you really have to take quite a hit to bottom out both. And it works very well. Okay, I burned out a bunch of ESCs. I ended up putting another axial in here. This is the one, I like the axial because it has drag brake capabilities, and it does reverse and forward on it. And if you can see, no Plasti-Dip. I just leave it dry, and I just only take it out in the spring and summer when it's really nice out. No water for this anymore. The transmission in this is stock. The gears inside are stock. The gears inside my axles are stock. Doesn't need anything. What I did here is I changed out the motor. I put in a Tekken heavy duty 35 turn motor in it. And I tried a 45, and I found it just to be too slow. And the stock motor that came with it, of course, I burnt it out, but I found it to be too fast anyways. The 35T, if you want to crawl rocks and do some just trails where you can walk right behind it and everything's good, that's the one to have. I highly recommend it. For the front, I ended up putting the same high-tech servo that I had in it before, because it worked very well. The only drawback was the horn bending on me, so I ended up buying a really heavy duty one and installed that. And then I took out the plastic link arms and I put in aluminum ones. And I don't know if you can get a shot of it, but even though these knuckles here are black, they are aluminum. I can't remember where I got them from though. Sorry about that. And the only thing left would be the undercarriage. So I'll just pick it straight up. And I changed the drive shafts in here. These are MIP drive shafts. And super tough, super strong. After each use with it, when I'm done with it, I like to spray a little WD-40 inside of where it rotates to keep everything moving good, or a little bit of penetrating fluid. It works quite well. The only small link of this truck that I haven't got around to fixing because it's not a major issue for me are the links. As you can see, these are the original links that came with it, and they're the plastic ones, so it does flex somewhat. It flexes quite a bit, but it does its job. It works good. I just ran out of money between fixing this and my Wraith, and I chose to fix the Wraith. But for what this is, it works awesome. Well, thanks very much for sharing with me.